Let us listen to this video quickly, and I have a few things to say.
Africans are poor, but you live on credit. You can't do without credit. You can't breathe without credit. Over here, we pay in full, but you pay on credit. And yet you believe Africans are poor. I think the word poverty needs to be redefined.
All right, so just as you heard, the lady was saying that Africans are poor, but you live on credit. You cannot breathe without credit. I think she is speaking directly or specifically to people living in the United States of America. She's speaking to Americans that we live on credit, and we cannot breathe without credit. That whatever they buy in Africa, they buy it outright. So if you own something, you pay cash for it. Okay, now let us dissect this information and see if she's telling the truth or if there are some lapses somewhere. Now, mind you, this is not to suggest or to say that one system is better than the other. Okay, I was born and bred in Ghana. I'm a Ghanaian, but I'm also a naturalized citizen. So I am an American. Okay, I'm a naturalized American. Um, so first of all, I want you to understand that before you put up any information out there, you need to do your investigations. You need to come up with relevant information to feed the general public. Okay. Now, I have a few questions to ask, and you can answer these questions by yourselves. Yes, I strongly believe that the word poverty needs to be redefined. That absolutely, I think that that word poverty needs to be redefined. Now, the next question will be, are Africans poor? I'll leave that to you for you to answer. Are Africans poor? I also think that poverty has a lot to do with the mindset. Okay, poverty has a lot to do with the mindset. So a lot of us keep boasting, oh, we have a lot of natural resources. We are rich in natural resources. We are rich in this. We are rich in gold. We are rich in timber, cocoa. We are rich in natural resources. God blessed Africa, or Africa is endowed with a lot of rich natural resources. However, your mentality can make you very poor. Okay. Um, yes, I strongly also agree that America runs on a credit system. Okay. However, you answer the question for yourself. Are Africans poor and are Americans poor? Okay. And just like I said, poverty is the mindset. Whatever you put to your mind can either make you poor or it can make you rich. And now she was also saying that no credit cards in Africa and we pay in full. Everything we pay in full. Now, a lot of African countries run on a cash and carry system. I repeat that. A lot of African countries run on a cash and carry system. The reason why we don't have a strong credit system is that why? Poor planning. Very, very poor planning. So, because of that, we cannot run an efficient and a good credit system. Let's take Ghana, for example. It is very difficult to run a credit system in Ghana because we don't have the means to. Okay. We don't have the database system to be able to run a credit system. Okay. It is currently that a lot of things have been done, and I believe in the near future, such things will be very easy. However, don't say that um, we don't have a credit system in Africa and we pay everything in full. That is just a wrong statement. Okay. A lot of people are owing, a lot of people are into the habit of borrowing money. Okay. A lot of people, when it's time for them to pay their rents, they go around borrowing from friends, families, and loved ones to be able to meet the quota to pay their rent in Ghana. I'll use Ghana as a case study. I'm not going to use any other African country so that uh, you come after me in the comment section. But I'm just going to use Ghana as a case study because I've lived in Ghana for quite a number of years, so I can say a few things that relates to Ghana. So a lot of people will borrow money, to be able to meet their quota, to make their rent, to pay their rent. And the reason why I say this is that a lot of people pay their rent in installments. So, 6 months, a year, or 2 years. I mean, Ghana has its own rules and regulations when it comes to rent control, but do they really follow those rules? No. So a lot of people, when it's time for them to pay rent, they go around asking for, or they go borrowing money from friends, families, and loved ones to be able to meet those payments. Get that? That is a fact. That is pure fact. And also, you say that we pay everything in full. Yes, you pay everything in full. However, we go around borrowing money from our friends, families, and loved ones to be able to make some of these payments. Okay. Now, Mama Nkechi in the village, if she cannot afford a 3 square meal, or if the family is hungry and she doesn't have a means to feed the family, she can go to the market and borrow things on credit. She'll go to the market and borrow things on credit. Okay, come home and be able to feed the family. Or she can borrow things from neighbors, friends, families, loved ones to be able to feed the family. And the way our system runs is totally different. So I'm not going to side with one system over the other. It is what we have, and we should be happy and we can boast of such a system. However, all we are asking for is we are asking for the best. Okay, we are asking for an improved system. That is it. So don't just sit somewhere and say that America runs on a credit system and Africans are not poor, and that we are rather poor. We, those living in America, are rather poor. Let me cite you an example. I know you're from Nigeria. I'm not going to poke you because you are a sister, so I'm not going to poke you really hard. But hear me out and hear me out. Okay, most Nigerians living in a diaspora are holding Nigeria's economy. Most Nigerians living in the diaspora are holding Nigeria's economy. So Nigerians living in Canada, Germany, in wherever they find themselves outside the confines of Nigeria, they are holding Nigeria's economy. Okay. Last year, Nigerians in the diaspora, that is what is on record. Last year, Nigerians in the diaspora sent over $20 billion to Nigeria. Over $20 billion. Now, this is what goes to feed families, friends, and loved ones. Nigerians in the diaspora are doing extremely well, to hold their families back home. So you can't just sit somewhere and say that we pay in full in Africa and you pay in credit. You know, do you know how the credit system is helping most people in America? You don't, because of course we don't have a good system to be able to run a credit system. We don't. We can't run a good credit system. However, there is some forms of credit system that is being run in Ghana and other parts of other countries in Africa. So you can't just say that there are no credits in Africa and you pay everything in full. That is just a wrong statement. You need to retract that. And personally, that is my opinion. But I know, you may have said that out of sarcasm. We've been looked down upon for a long time, and so there is always the need to be able to prove ourselves. But that doesn't mean that we should, counter whatever someone says and try to look good in the eyes of everybody when things are not really going on well. Okay. Now, just like I said, poverty is a mental thing. Poverty is your mindset. If you have poor leadership, if you have if your resources are mismanaged, if you have corruption, high levels of corruption. Corruption is everywhere, but if you have high levels of corruption, you have bad leadership and all that, how can you say that you are not poor? That in itself is poverty because, you can't hold your leaders accountable. We cannot hold our leaders accountable. So when it's time for election, they come and pass, little things here and there, and people go hail scatter, and then we go and vote for them. And then when they come, they turn their backs on us, and they're enjoying with their family, friends, and loved ones. And guess what? We're still living and wallowing in poverty. But then you say that Africa is not poor. Yes, Africa is not poor, but these things are what makes us poor or what makes us look bad, and we need to seek redress. We need to sit down and critically look at some of these things. So yes, I know we are overburdened in the United States with a credit system. However, it is not by force. It is not by force. Okay, you can choose to live on a cash and a carry system if only you can. Okay, but the system is structured in such a way that you it's highly impossible to live without credit. It's very highly impossible. So you just have to be smart on your spending. You just have to be smart in how you handle your credit. So if you're going to buy a house, definitely a bank is going to loan you money for you to buy a house. They put you on a mortgage for 30 years, 15 years, or 20 years. Okay. And strategically you can plan to pay that off earlier, or you can stay within that time frame and finish paying your mortgage. Other things, like if you want to buy a car, yes, you go for a car loan for 5 to 6 years and stuff like that. So people feel that the system is overburdening them. Okay, the system is overburdening them. What can you do? Just work hard. Just work hard, plan, and like I said, poverty is your mindset. Work hard, plan, and you can come out of poverty, or you can save enough for your family and live a better life wherever you find yourself. Wherever you find yourself, be it in any country in Africa, or in the United States, or wherever you find yourself. Okay. And also, you say that you pay everything in full. Look, yes, America runs on a credit system, but after they have gone to purchase the cars for 50, 60, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000, and driven it for over 10, 15 years, then they ship it back home. Okay, after they have bought their brand new cars and have had an accident with it, then we ship all those cars, to Ghana or to Nigeria. So yes, you can afford to buy those cars, in cash. Definitely you can afford to buy those cars in cash, because it depreciates so fast, so fast. Once you buy a brand new car, you leave the lot, the car depreciates so fast. So yes, after they have enjoyed every good thing in the new things that they produce, then they ship it back home. That is very, very sad, but hey, it is how the system runs. Okay, it's going to take us a long way to be able to get to their standard. We should strive to get to such standards. We shouldn't um be happy and content in whatever condition that we are facing. We should strive to do better. We should strive to come out of our current situation. That is all that we can preach. But if you don't accept your situation, how can you do better? We have to accept our situations and ask for accountability. We have to ask our leaders to be accountable. That is just it. Our leaders have to be accountable. How many African leaders can you go and sue at the court? You know, It's about high time we accept our situation so that we ask for accountability, and all we are asking for is, I can tell you for a fact, yes, people are struggling. It is not all rosy living in the United States, but I can tell you Americans are not poor. And like I said, it's just the mindset. And hey, you can say all you want to say. You can talk about the homelessness in America, but we have data to support. Uh, um, you can talk about the homelessness in America, but America has data to support their system. Okay, so America can tell you how many or an approximate number of people living on the streets or who are homeless. America can tell you how many people own homes, or how many people are credit worthy, and how many people, an approximation of how many Americans own their homes and stuff like that. But we don't have such a system. We don't. Let's just face facts. We don't. And so it's very difficult to, to run a country who doesn't have a good database system. So yes, 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 yes. The word poverty needs to be redefined. That I agree with. Are Africans poor? You answer that to yourself. Okay. And Americans live on credit. We cannot breathe without credit. That's just uh, we can breathe. We can breathe a lot with credit. I can tell you that for a fact. We can breathe a lot with credit. And don't tell me that credit is not good. I mean, over the years, we've lived with barter trade, and currently we are living with a credit system. If you think you have a better system that we should run in Africa, come on, tell us what system we should run. Tell us what system should we run. Okay, let me cite you an example, and I'm going to use Ghana as a case study. Okay, if a registered nurse in Ghana makes about 3,000 Ghana cedis a month, 3,000 Ghana cedis, let's just say $300 a month. Okay, and um, they pay rent of about 1,200 Ghana cedis just to live in a place that you would deem, or you think that is comfortable, or just to live in a place that you find comfortable. Okay, let's just say between 1,200 to 1,300 or 1,500 1,500 Ghana cedis a month. Okay, and your transportation definitely is going to cost you even more than 1,000 Ghana cedis. But let's just say your transportation within a month is 1,000 Ghana cedis. Okay, mind you, the cost of petrol, the cost of gasoline is more expensive in Ghana than in the United States. So let's just say your rent is about 1,200 Ghana cedis a month. Your transportation cost is about 1,000 Ghana cedis a month. Um, your food is about 700 Ghana cedis a month. And what else? So that alone, all just these three things: your rent, your transportation, and your food, it's almost how much money you make. It's about 3,000 Ghana cedis. Okay, it's about 3,000 Ghana cedis. I know it's 2,900, but let's just say about 3,000 Ghana cedis. What about your kids' school fees? What about your clothing? What about other expenses? Think about it very well. So, how are you surviving? You're basically living on credit. You're basically just living on credit. Now, I know a lot of people will say, oh, it is how you manage your resources. Yes, correct. Excellent. It is how you manage your resources. So, you go elsewhere and go rent an apartment for 200 Ghana cedis a month. Go somewhere else and pay electricity bill of whatever, or do illegal connection or whatever it is, and do all the fictitious things and survive and think that you are living a good life. No, that is not living a good life. That is not living a good life. A good life has to be lived devoid of illegal connection, devoid of corruption, devoid of, do you get what I'm saying? A good life has to be lived devoid of so and so and so. Okay. So don't say that Africans, we don't have a credit system, or don't make it seem like everything is good back home, and we pay our how we build our houses, and everybody owns their homes, and blah 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 blah, blah. Man, go to Google and make and do your own research. you know that is all I have to say. I mean, this is not to say that Ghana or Nigeria is better than the United States, and this is not to say that the United States is better than Nigeria and Ghana. Definitely, we all have our advantages and disadvantages, but I can tell you that for a fact. America runs on an excellent credit system. America runs on an excellent credit system. Just got to use your brains. That's it. Okay. You just have to use your brains so that you will not be caught up with the credit system in the United States of America. That is all I have to say. I'll see you in my next video. It is adieu for now.